The newly minted Dale Brown Court at the PMAC in Baton Rouge. This is the SEC on ESPN. LSU's been fantastic at home on the season. They see the orange of Tennessee in the building as Tennessee looks for a key road victory. And the Fighting Tigers put a 13-1 record on the line against the Volunteers. Here's how it all went down Tuesday night at the PMAC. It was a one-point game under 20 seconds to go. LSU's defense turned into offense. What was a tight game finished with Xavier Pinson steal and dunk and an exclamation point as LSU got a key win at home against Kentucky. Welcome courtside, everybody. Tom Hart, Damian Fishback. Two of the best defenses in college basketball tonight, Fish, but they do it in very different ways.
Did you just say two of the best defenses with LSU? With LSU Tigers, the whole thing has changed now. Two different teams, though. They do it in different ways, but they are the top two in the nation right now in defensive efficiency. If offense wins games and defense wins championships, do we have two potential championship contenders here or not, Tom?
You could say that, and styles make the fight, right? This will be one style versus another. I can't wait to see what Tennessee, who puts up 28 threes a game, can do against LSU defense, and can LSU turn over Tennessee. Ready to go in a series that dates to 1933. And Xavier Pinson, the transfer from Missouri, controls the tip. LSU scoring 77 points a game coming off of that win against Kentucky. Their defense was sensational. Pinson gives it up to Darius Days. This starting lineup for LSU is 13-0 on the season. Tigers with just one loss. The freshman, Efta Reed, has a go up as his shins, and the shot clock winding down, puts up a short shot. Fulkerson can't find the rebound, and Tennessee playing vintage Tennessee defense.
Yeah, you can tell from the tip that time that LSU hasn't seen anything like Tennessee just yet.
Volunteers were listless offensively in a midweek win in overtime against Ole Miss. Quickly inside of Pinson with this strip, and LSU coming the other way.
And I know what you're thinking, LSU fans. They haven't seen anything like you all either. A much different team, this LSU Tiger. They are an attacking defensive team. Phenomenal this year.
Here's Days. Kicks it into the corner for Mwani Wilkinson, and he hits the first from deep.
Yeah, only averages 4 points per game, but how about 4 rebounds, a couple of steals. He's doing an outstanding job in SEC play.
Look at Tennessee's starting five. Where do the Volunteers go in the half court?
Well, I like them going inside to John Fulkerson or Olivier Kamwa. This is a Tennessee team who shoots more three-pointers this year. I think 8 more than they shot in previous years, including last year. But I think they got to get back to their bread and butter. John Fulkerson, Olivier Conway going inside.
LSU's had a nice little run in this series, but it's been close in Baton Rouge overall. All the way into the backcourt on the entry. LSU has won 27 to 26 losses at home against Tennessee. Pinson got away with a shove. Out to Josiah Jordan-James for three.
Beautiful. So when you have guys that play with your back to the basket, it doesn't have to be a score. That caused the double team by LSU, which left Josiah Jordan-James open.
Lone loss for LSU came in conference play on the road at Auburn. Seems like there's 5 elite teams in the SEC, or so we thought. Alabama lost on the road at Mizzou today. 3-on-2 break. James for three. He's feeling it in transition. Fulkerson with the putback draws the foul on Days.
This is what we were talking about. You see the double team, boom. So now you've got 3 defenders down there. Leaves Josiah Jordan-James wide open. There's confusion. Inside-out action is always positive for your offensive productivity.
Here's John Fulkerson at the free throw line. My guy, Boog Shambi. What a thriller in Big 12 land out in Lubbock with Texas Tech pulling off the stunner against number 6 Kansas. Here in SEC territory, the 2 top defenses in all of college basketball going head to head. LSU number 1 in defensive efficiency according to KenPom. Tennessee number 2. So let's talk about what Tennessee did midweek. They were terrible offensively against Ole Miss. They didn't hold the lead until they made it to overtime, but they turned over Ole Miss 27 times and pulled out 17 steals. Tennessee another stop in the half court.
Yeah, this Tennessee team actually scored more points, or almost as many points in the overtime as they did the entire first half. Listen, there's ebbs and flows in college basketball. What makes Tennessee so good is that their defense does travel, and usually they don't turn over the basketball. They did against Ole Miss, and that's why it was so close.
Less than 12 turnovers a game for Tennessee. And the freshman, Efton Reed, went for the block. He picks up his second personal foul early in this game. It's a third team foul against LSU.
You know, Tom, I think you need to remind our viewers where you told them. You asked me where we should go before we came to ESPN2. What did I say, Tom?
I wasn't listening. We're only on ESPN News. I don't listen until we make it to the big network.
Olivier Conroy, right, and John Fulkerson. Coach Rick Barnes has always had these type of guys, Tom. He's had the Grant Williams, the Admiral Schofields, the Yves Pons, all those guys playing at the next level now. But he's played the game inside out. A brilliant coach, close to 740 wins, I think. You don't get there if you don't know your style, your identity. I think Tennessee gets back to that identity here tonight.
Conroy 73% from the free throw line, makes both of his. Fulkerson has also already been to the line. Now Tennessee's going to pick up full court. What makes Tennessee so good defensively?
Well, one of the things is that they don't normally gamble. Now, they've got more steals this year than they typically do, but they have a prevent pack line defense. They're early helpers. You see, all the guys off of the ball are keeping their eyes close to them. Look how they merge to the basketball, and that's what makes it a challenge to score against the volunteers.
And that's the opposite of what LSU does so well defensively. They pressure, they get in the wings, they get in the passing lanes, and that in turn leads to offense. Different styles, same fight.
Absolutely. The Tigers right now not able to attack quite like they want to because of the discipline for Tennessee.
Tennessee gets a lot of open threes. 49% of their catch and shoot threes are unguarded. Thanks, Stats by Will, for that dynamite nugget. And Vescovi knocks his first one down.
The job that Santiago Vescovi has done in non-conference and even in conference play, taking that step from last year to this year has been gigantic. Kobe Brown's the only one that's done a better job and had a bigger step in the SEC.
That's the Missouri star. He had 30 and 13 in Mizzou's home upset win against Alabama. It was the largest upset for Missouri as the underdog the last quarter century. Here's Vescovi open. How does he get so open?
Once again, playing the game inside out. All of these guys that are trying to be, you know, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, thinking you got Draymond Green. This is collegiate basketball, and as much as the college game is beginning to emulate the NBA game, it's still better to play with your back to the basket, or at least playing the game inside out, whether that be by penetration or by getting your back to the basket.
Zakai Ziegler enters for Tennessee off the bench for pro prospect Kennedy Chandler. He has been quite the inspiration. Rick Barnes says we need that DNA in everybody. Three ball goes for Brandon Murray out of Baltimore City. And we got a one possession game.
Yeah, the 6'5", 214-pound freshman did not play in that loss at Auburn. He is a critical piece and plays the most minutes for the LSU Tigers.
Fulkerson gets tied up, dazed nearly, Vescovi, and so he'll just launch the logo. Remember, Santiago Vescovi came to Tennessee from Uruguay. His first game was against LSU. He lit him up from deep. Not only was there not a scouting report on Vescovi at that time, nobody knew who he was, barely had a nameplate on his jersey. So we know LSU's defense helps them out in transition and with steals, but in the half court, they can get bogged down and sluggish. And Pinson bailed out thanks to the Ziegler reach in. We'll take a deeper look into these two defenses, LSU and Tennessee, after this.
Assuming all NBA players want rings. It's like assuming State Farm doesn't have great rates.
Why do we have coasters if nobody gonna use them?
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Timeout. You need more room. With a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, you can make more space for game day.
When you need more space in your place, Rocket can.
At Lowe's, with endless ways to organize what you need, you'll find some of the peace of mind you want at prices you really want. Start the year fresh at Lowe's. Shop Lowe's Store and Save event now, in-store and online.
You inspired the new Lexus ES to be, well, more you. So thank you. We hope you like your work.
Get $1,500 lease cash toward a 2022 ES350.
When I break a long run, I'm talking long. That's why I use Old Spice Triple Protection Sweat Defense. Old Spice works harder for longer.
Hey, Derek, man, you gonna be much longer?
This is gonna be a minute. Derek, quit playing. Derek.
You take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. Yeah, I hear him chatting with the boys. Can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but man's keep walking. Yeah, just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let her tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, just too sharp with the prize. Let her tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, let her tell me I'm. Let her tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
You want fries with that? Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
Well, we're back here where we got the top two defenses in the nation. Let's see how they do it differently. Look at the freeze here. LSU, they're attacking. Kellen Grady doesn't know where to go. And look, he's got Jacob Toppin open, but it's too late. And then you've got three offensive players here. Watch Gaines. He takes off. He takes the risk. And then defensively, how do they do it different? Look at the pack line defense. Early help in that time by Santiago Vescovi. And then here it is again. Look at Hatfield. He does a nice job of leaving his man early to go to help. Two different teams that are top defensively, Tom, but they do it in different ways.
You kind of laughed when we had our open over on ESPN News about LSU suddenly being elite defensively. The previous 4 years under Will Wade, their average defensive efficiency rank was 125th. All right, so my question is this a byproduct of the personnel he has and changing style by pressing more? Or is this evolution of Will Wade as a coach in the SEC?
It's the combination of both. I think Coach Will Wade got tired of people talking about them not guarding, but his leaders on the team were offensively minded. Javonte Smart, Tremont Waters, Watford. Those guys were really good offensively, but this year his leadership in Darius Days, he's blue collar. These are guys that actually look out for defense.
That Tennessee defense forces him into a timeout in the inbounds. Back in a half minute.
Welcome to Sonic. May I take your order?
Can I get 2 patty melts?
Melting the cheese. Order up.
Sonic patty melt.
It was a tragedy. With knockoff batteries, Little Miss Cupcake never stood a chance. Until Energizer Ultimate Lithium. The #1 longest-lasting AA battery. Case closed.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done. Tom Hart alongside Damian Fishback. SEC matchup between Tennessee and LSU. Two best defenses in college basketball. And a near turnover it will be. Zakai Ziegler ends up with the ball in his hands. And a corner three off of that turnover before Fulkerson taps it back out. Tennessee just kind of finds its way into opponents' turnovers without necessarily a lot of pressure. It's almost like unforced errors in tennis. They just force you into making mistakes.
Yeah, well, Tennessee allows you to make the mistakes.
Yeah.
But they're going to do it with a lot less pressure. LSU regardless of what you think you're coming into the game to do, they want to make you play their style. They want controlled chaos. And that's what LSU is trying to do right now. But give credit. It looks like Tennessee should be dominating this game. But they're only up 3 points right now. So give credit to the defense that we talked about.
Pat Adams has a headset on. They're looking for the potential of a flagrant foul under the basket. Uroš Plavšić, the junior from Serbia, was whistled for the common foul. We're going to review the possibility of a flagrant. LSU's bigs, Efton Reed III, the freshman, already has 2 fouls. Look at Plavšić inside with that. May have, if anything, Murray with the hook in the hole trying to tie up Plavšić. See if number 0 clamped down on that arm. That's always been a rule since it was really officiated more strictly about 4 years ago. It's hard for me to see and dedicate, who's holding whom in that scenario.
It's because most of the time they're both holding each other. And listen, I played in Serbia, so there's plenty of holding that goes on, and pushing, and a lot of other things. Well, a very physical league. So
hold on a second. What do you mean a lot of other things in Serbia? Like what? What did you see away from the basketball court that you need to share?
Well, we're on national television right now, so we'll talk about that offline. But there's a lot of other things in Serbia, in particular in Belgrade, young man.
An explanation going over towards the official score, and Uroš wants to follow up on it.
Yeah, Plavšić, I actually like Plavšić as a player. I think that he gives them another form of inside presence. I think that he gives them a physical presence. I think he actually has a solid basketball IQ as well, and we'll find out exactly what it is. What kind of data did you get, Tom?
We got a hook and a hold on Plavšić. They had him for the hold originally in the common foul, and they'll upgrade it to a flagrant. And so shots and possession. Brandon Murray to the free throw line. Product of Baltimore Polytechnic before he went to IMG. And when Poly goes against City, that is a big. Missed the SEC opener due to a hamstring injury, and had a pretty good one last time out against Kentucky with double figures. Baltimore City Player of the Year in high school. He's been in double figures 5 times.
One of the things that I noticed about Brandon was that he's a lot bigger than you would think. I mean, you see 214. He is every bit of 214, maybe more like 220. Just strong, physical. Makes a huge difference for this Tiger team.
Ask Will Wade what he likes about him. He said this dude always has a chip on his shoulder. He's city tough, right? He's kind of got that scowl every time he takes the court. Both teams have one of those. It's Ziegler for Tennessee. Nice turnaround, and it didn't go, but LSU on the glass. Tari Eason, who's their leading scorer while coming off the bench this year. He is instant offense.
Yeah, he's kind of like Brockington from Iowa State. He's one of the more underrated transfers. Well, Brockington, you can say both of them aren't underrated anymore. The entire country knows about them, but those 2 guys really, in regards to transfers, have impressed me the most.
Into the corner for another 3, and James leaves it short. He's really struggling with his shot. He's only shooting 14% on open threes. And Plavšić is going to pick up his second. It happens quickly. Good basketball rivalry for you on ABC and the ESPN app tomorrow afternoon. Eason's former team, Cincinnati, will be in Memphis to take on Penny's Tigers, who all of a sudden have some personnel issues. Jalen Duren didn't play against Tulsa due to hip injury. DeAndre Williams left with a back injury. Amani Bates supposed to come back from the finger infection. He hadn't played since December 14th. Coverage of the AAC matchup begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific.
Well, Coach Penny Hardaway went back to the veterans, and it's paid dividends for him in the Memphis Tigers. Coach Wes Miller, I think, has done a nice job at Cincinnati as well. That'll be a good matchup. The question will be, will the Bearcats take care of the basketball? Memphis, phenomenal when they turn teams over 10 or more times.
What a soap opera it's been in River City, Bluff City, wherever. What do you want to call it? Not so scruffy city, but Memphis and Penny Hardaway, going even back to when they canceled the game against Tennessee, has been an ongoing soap opera. Fulkerson with the rebound.
When you talk about an ongoing soap opera, it's because of guys like that, Kennedy Chandler. When you've got 4 or 5 stars to come in, Coach Rick Barnes has a lot of veterans that actually surround him.
This is an interesting lineup, though, with both Chandler and Ziegler on the floor at the same time.
Well, he's played with the smaller lineup. He actually went with Vescovy quite a bit as well. But what I was saying was for Penny Hardaway, he's got so many of those young freshmen. I think that's what was a challenge for him, Tom.
Bucket finally goes for Alex Fudge after being challenged inside. Neither team can gain an advantage in this one. The 2 top defensive teams in the country, and it's playing out like it. 11 apiece. 7+ minutes in. Justin Powell, great shooter. And here's Chandler, future first-round pick, just a freshman. Shot clock at 3. Powell tried to go behind his back, turned it over. LSU had an opportunity to run, but that was thwarted.
Well, here's that control chaos that we talked about, and these fans absolutely love it. The more this game gets like that, up and down, loose balls, kind of like the Kentucky game ended, the more Tiger fans will love it and the better off the LSU Tigers will be.
Tough shooting early on, Tennessee at 33%, LSU at 27%. Powell, no. A couple of ugly threes last couple possessions for Tennessee.
Yeah, getting out of hand a little bit. Tennessee started shooting threes, but they were playing the game inside out. Now they're beginning to get lulled into an LSU game somewhat.
Pinson turns it over. John Fulkerson coming off of a COVID break. He said he won full strength last game. Doesn't look like it this game either. Tied, low scoring early.
Hey, our reservation's at 7.
I am ready.
Great.
You look nice.
Thank you.
Why is it when someone says, I'm toast, it's not a good thing?
I'd be happy if I was toast.
Why?
Because I'd be delicious. Sonic Patty Melt. And everyone would love me.
Cough, cough, sneeze, sneeze. Needs. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold Relief. Dissolves quickly, instantly ready to start working. So you can bounce back fast with Alka-Seltzer Plus. Now available for fast sinus relief.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another reason banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than this.
Well, honey, which one are you going to open up first?
No way! Yep, even easier than that. Plus, with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it New York style. So you can fold it or not. Ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York style pizza from Papa John's.
We are here. For new homeowners, a football game can really bring out the parent in them.
It's smart we park near the exit.
Absolutely.
There you go. That way.
Let's put away the parking talk maybe for a minute.
Parking is where the money is, though. You imagine what this place pulls in on parking alone?
All right, no more talking about parking lots.
A lot of these are compact spots.
It's not pretty.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
We still planning to head out around the third quarter?
Let's not talk about leaving before we're actually at the game.
We only picture the hurdle, the bomb, the breakaway, but our student athletes are so much more. The strong voice, the strong father, the shining example, the hometown's pride, and still someone's really big kid. More than students, more than athletes.
Are you ready for the first ever Week 18 season finale and for Wild Card Weekend to extend into Monday? Well, you better get ready.
Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy from Dale Brown Court, newly minted here in Baton Rouge. Students back on campus. Tom Hart, Damian Fishback. We've only seen 2 made 2s in this game. It's kind of turned to a bit of a rock fight. Where do we stand with needing to knock down open shots?
Well, for fans and viewers that are watching this, they may say it's only 11 points, but you have to start with the defense for these 2 teams. You look at other teams that are in the top 10, top 15. That's Baylor, that's Arizona, that's Duke, that's Houston. All of these teams, Gonzaga, are teams that are trying to be in New Orleans towards the end of the year. And these are 2 teams that can potentially be there. But Ed, you make a good point. They have to get better offensively. But I still think it's great that these 2 teams are at least starting being at the top 2 defensively. I think it's just been a challenge, and they've got to get better looks at the basket.
Xavier Pinson commits a foul that is his first. And that is the 4th on LSU as a team. Brandon Huntley Hatfield on the floor right now for Tennessee. We showed John Fulkerson going to break. He missed a game a couple games ago, but played against Ole Miss. Only played 17 minutes. I talked to him before the game, and he said, man, COVID really kicked my butt. It's stamina, it's strength, it's energy, it's all of those things. And I'm not back to 100% just yet. Well, and he gets beat off the dribble by Pinson in what is a mismatch anyway. And in there to clean it up is Mwani Wilkinson. How tough is that? Well, no matter what it is, when you're under the weather and you're an energy type guy like Fulkerson, to try and find it.
Well, listen, I'm the type of person that feels like everybody across the country is dealing with the same 24 hours, right? The same 7 days a week, 365 days, and the same pandemic. And so even though it's a challenge, I think college basketball at large, coaches, players, they have to be prepared to deal with these challenges. And for John Fulkerson, it's no different. If he steps in between the lines, he's got to be ready to bring his A game. And that's what I think he's trying to do today.
I disagree with you from this segment. Yes, as a team and as a coaching staff, you have to have learned how to deal with this when it comes to personnel. But if you are under the weather and you are not 100%, more and more we're seeing it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And if Tennessee, like their first game in conference, had to play without Fulkerson and without Kennedy Chandler, that's a huge advantage to the opposition.
Sure. And that's how most people
Pinson with the crossover.
As you see Pinson knock that down, but your Missouri Tigers today didn't have 2 of their players as well and were able to knock off the top 15 Alabama. You have to go with what you got, T-Hart.
Kennedy Chandler with the reverse. We've got consecutive buckets, I think, for the first time in this game.
We got a better tempo.
Oh, Fulkerson got thrown down by Efton Reed, and the freshman who was 6 years the junior to Fulkerson just got a veteran tutorial on how to tease somebody into a foul. It's his 3rd.
Wow. And I wouldn't be surprised if the officials don't take a look at that one as well. You know, if you're Efton Reed, John Fulkerson is tricky now, and he has no wrongdoing in regard to this. But a lot of times if you have a big guy, then you can do that to him. But he's not going to sail across the floor like John Fulkerson. Right. John Fulkerson is one of those 6-year seniors. He is so savvy and so heady, so tricky. That was a nice job by him getting the foul on Efton Reed.
24 years old, Vescovy trying to clear some space. Home crowd, but that should have been a whistle.
And it
here he is.
Been.
2 shooters on the floor with Powell and Vescovy. Shot clock is at 2. It's at 1, and Fulkerson can't get the shot away. He was swarmed by Days and Eason.
Believe it or not, and LSU's only up, that's an elbow. You got to call that all day. And then here, defensively, I think this is a good no call. He might have gotten Fulkerson, though, over Tari Eason over that right arm. Officials letting them play a little bit. But at the end of the day, the more the game gets like that, it certainly plays to the advantage of the LSU Tigers.
Strong move by Eason, but off the mark. Fulkerson went flying over to the cheerleaders.
No, that's tremendous defense. Tari Eason got out of control on that particular play.
Nice pass from Vescovy, an emphatic dunk. Olivier Kamwa.
Pretty basketball. I love this on behalf of Tennessee. These are the type of environments that you try to go into a win. That's what Kansas was just trying to do against Texas Tech. These are the type of games, if you want to win championships, where you get to see the true character of your team.
That was a nifty move by Xavier Pinson, and he'll go to the free throw line.
So this is what you do under pressure. You poise, you jump stop, pass fake, inside to Olivier Kamwa. Nice finish. You remain disciplined. You remain poised under pressure.
Pinson back to the free throw line. From Chicago, played at Simeon Academy, then Missouri. Talking to him before the game, he said there's just so much more freedom in what Will Wade allows us to do. That in turn, Fish, leads to more confidence when you don't have to worry about shot selection. And you said chaotic to describe LSU defensively. Sometimes they also look like that on the offensive end.
Well, for Xavier Pinson, it's just different relationships fit different people, different friendships. And in his situation, he is a better fit for Coach Will Wade. Coach Conzo Martin, you saw that in the win today, even though they scored 80-plus points. But he is a defensive coach by nature. You see that nice finish by Eason. Will Wade is an offensive coach, and Pinson loves that.
A Tennessee turnover. There's slam. LSU in its largest lead. Kamwa deep two. Rebounded by Days. They are looking to run. And LSU fourth in the country, allowing fewer than 56 points a game. And they turn their opponent over 19 times per game.
So right now LSU's just setting ball screens, and then when they get the switch, they're going at what they feel like is their best matchup.
Rolls home for Days, his first bucket. Rick Barnes will have to use a timeout. It's in total a 19-6 LSU run.
Got our favorites. Chicken McNuggets.
Let me guess, a Big Mac?
What's that?
Where's my McNugget, Dad?
What McNugget?
I can literally see it.
Enjoy any two classics for $6, like a Big Mac or 10-piece Chicken McNuggets for a limited time at McDonald's.
Our priorities, they've changed.
Hey, Lexus, play my music.
It's not just about getting ahead or the constant grind. It's about knowing what you want.
Watch for traffic.
And focusing on what matters. Welcome to the next level. This is the all-new Lexus NX with available remote park and our most advanced safety system ever.
On my travels across the country, I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this will happen. So let the Geico Insurance Agency help you with homeowners insurance and protect yourself from things like fire, theft, or in this case, water damage. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere upstairs there's a broken pipe.
Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance at geico.com.
This is the move right here. Boom. Boom.
My turn. My bag of chips or your crunch wrap?
I think we have different definitions of sharing.
Next time you can divvy it up.
Wow, so generous.
El Clásico, the biggest game in the world.
Underdog Fantasy is giving away millions of dollars in prizes this season. No algorithms, no math puzzles, just draft a team and you're in the game to win big. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com to get started.
The time-saving element of Tovala has definitely changed my day, my night, and just makes life easier for me. Tovala is my personal chef.
Tovala. Browse this week's meals at Tovala.com.
79. Well, it's pretty simple. LSU using its pressure defense to lead the rim runs on the other side.
It's really pretty basketball when you look at the way they change defenses, and they feed off of their defense this year. When they turn you over, you see that pick and pop by Darius Days. Look at him. He's the leader. He's the blue-collar leader on this team. Much different offensively, but a blue-collar worker, and that's why they're so good defensively.
Bit of a roller coaster game. LSU scored first, hitting a 3. Tennessee went on a 9-0 run. LSU since then has scored 21 of the game's last 27 points. James with the lob. They get in deep to Conwell, but he's immediately taken over. Chandler with the drive, and they'll get Brandon Murray with his first personal.
So at that timeout, if you're Coach Rick Barnes, you had a decision to make. Do you continue to play a slower tempo and try to keep your guys poised and under control, or do you attack this pressure of LSU? He's made the decision to do a little bit of both. My guess is he told his team, we want to attack, but we want to do it under control. We can't turn it over. We can't feed this defense and allow them to get out offensively in this crowd. Let's see how Tennessee responds.
Another one coming Chandler's way. Monday, number 3, Georgia takes on number 1, Alabama, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. It's a college football playoff national championship game presented by AT&T. It's a little chilly in Indianapolis, but the SEC taking it over. We got pregame coverage all day, every platform, TV, radio, digital, so many ways to watch and listen to the biggest game of the year. SEC's going from Waffle Houses to Steak and Shake for the weekend. Chandler with the takeaway. Oh, the two-hand finish. And the freshman's got 7 early to try and spark a Tennessee comeback.
Yeah, he's been up and down, but he's one of the best point guards in the country, without question, amongst freshmen this year. Makes a big play there.
East, a nice look on the back cut. Days not taking a lot of 2s this season. He's been settling from deep after he got off to a hot start. Pull-up jumper off the mark, and another LSU rebound. This is Eric Gaines. What is there to like about LSU's offense in the half court?
Well, I think they're very good at taking mismatches. That's what they're doing now. You saw Tari Eason, who's about 6'7", going against 6 feet. That's throwing the basketball inside and out. The key is you put the defense at a disadvantage.
Gaines with the cut. LSU leading by 8 now. Chandler, quick first step. Thought he'd get the whistle, and it's shoved out to Vescovy, who's just 1 for 2 early on.
Nice
shot clock at 2. Chandler gives it up late. Vescovy, and then a whistle inside will go against LSU, and it will be the second on Darius Days.
Well, you see Chandler once again early help. Tennessee's always out there early to run that pack line defense, and right now the fans are livid because they thought that the foul was going in their direction, and it goes the opposite way against LSU.
So here's Victor Bailey Jr. with a one-on-one. He's got another one coming his way.
Let's take a look. This is what they're complaining about here. And there's no complaint. That's an obvious foul, a reach in by Darius Days. Look, Victor Bailey, Tom, is a guy who I think amongst the scoring challenges that Tennessee has to step up his basketball game. He scored over 500 points in a couple of years at Oregon. He's a guy who can perform much better. I think he's just getting accustomed to what Coach Rick Barnes wants from him.
Comes from an athletic family. His mom, an Olympic track star. Static right receiver at Missouri, then for the Philadelphia Eagles. Pinson gets it right back.
Cardinal sin.
What a gift.
Never save it underneath your own basket. If you're Josiah Jordan-James that time, throw it to the other end of the floor or just go out of bounds with it.
Chandler benefits from the reach-in from Eric Gaines. It's the first on Gaines.
You know, it's good defense by Josiah Jordan-James, but right there, and I see he was trying to throw it to Olivier Kamau, but you just can't take that chance. The risk doesn't really verify what the reward could potentially be. You've got to try to throw that to the other end. Verify, justify, help me out, Tom. You saw I was struggling there. Come on, man. I need point guard play over here.
Hey, sometimes you got to create your own shot. Could have been basket interference. Eason gets another bucket. The transfer from Cincinnati has been in double figures all but 2 games, and LSU has a double-figure lead.
You've seen the change in defense now. LSU going 1-2-2. Let's see if they go back to man or back to more of a matchup zone. Let's see if it was basket interference.
Ended up going anyway. Would have been on Tennessee. So here's Santiago Vescovi. Nearly 14 points and 5 boards a game for the junior from Montevideo, Uruguay. He's got 1-1 coming. Played in the NBA Global Academy, Mexico City, in Australia, when Rick Barnes found him mid-season a few years ago. Said he's playing in the best shape of his life, and it's evident mainly on the defensive end. He's got 16 steals over the last 6 games.
Well, Santiago Vescovi, he told us in an interview earlier this week, I asked him, I said, why do you correct people for the last 2 years and how to pronounce your last name? And he said, I don't care, man. I just want to win basketball games. Vescovi, he said, I kind of like Vescovi. You can call me that too.
It can get confusing. He told Bob Kessling and the radio crew last year, he said, you know, whenever I go in to pick up food that I've ordered, maybe go by Starbucks, they ask for my name, I just say Bob. You don't need my social security number. Eason with the offensive foul. It's his first.
Yeah, nice chest move that time by Coach Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes switched that time to a zone. So a zone cuts out a lot of those ball screens that LSU likes to use, and it goes ahead and positions Tennessee where they can stay in front of the basketball. And it also makes LSU display more patience, which they do not like to do offensively.
Right. LSU will trap. You never really know when it's coming, especially once it gets to the wing. Here's Chandler. And a mismatch with Pinson on Fulkerson. And offensive foul after the pass. Kennedy Chandler commits his first.
See, whether you like that or not, that is outstanding defense. And you see Kennedy Chandler, he's saying that he didn't want to come out of the basketball game. But at the same time, Coach Rick Barnes and he have continued to nurture and build that relationship. They were doing it in the game versus Ole Miss. He was going in and out. Coach Rick Barnes is tough on his point guards, but they always turn out to be tremendous players.
Only the first on Chandler. Tennessee in the zone. Quick look, Days. I always thought that Darius Days was at his best when he was getting rim looks, because he can be such an efficient offensive player inside, even though he would probably prefer to be outside on the perimeter.
Yeah, I agree with that. If he wants to play at the next level, he's got to display that he can do both effectively.
Kamwa cut off, turns it into a spin, and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Kamwa is a key for this Tennessee team. We talked about some of the players that they had before, the Grant Williams and the Admiral Schofield and the Eve Ponds. I think Coach Rick Barnes is trying to develop Olivier Kamwa into one of those type players. He's got a nice mid-range jump shot. He's actually extremely mobile, but I don't think he's quite there between the ears. The confidence, the aggressiveness, and consistency that he needs to really carry this team at that power forward position.
Chandler will get his break now. Ziegler replaces him at point. Olivier Kamwa from Helsinki, Finland. 6'8", 232. Spends his summer playing on the Finnish national team. LSU has made 4 of its last 5.
Tennessee's now went back to their man-to-man, and LSU now is using the ball screen. They're going to go at the mismatches. Pinson feels like he can get by Kamwa here.
It's almost like the screen got in his way, brought another big to him. Shot clock at 5 now. A hang and no hit. And Kamwa comes down with the board, and then we get a poke foul from Brandon Murray. It's aggressive LSU defense is one thing, Fish, but it's led to a lot of fouls in his first half.
Yeah, a lot of fouls, and it's also led to an LSU Tiger lead.
The College Football Playoff National Championship, Georgia, Alabama, Monday at 8 on ESPN.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another reason banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than this.
Well, honey, which one are you going to open up first? No way!
Yep, even easier than that. Plus, with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
The magic is calling you to stay at a Disney Resort hotel, where you're surrounded by the world's most magical celebration. The fun never stops. Special friends greet you. You soar to adventures with extra time in any of the 4 theme parks every day. And now you can save on rooms at select Disney Resort hotels. Why would you stay anywhere else?
Our journey at Continental has taken us down many roads. And when we first started, they weren't even paved. For more than 150 years, we've worked hard to earn your trust. From the trail to the racetrack and beyond. The Continental mark in all its forms stands for confidence. Confidence you trust. Continental Tire.
Each new year brings new opportunities to serve others, lead by example, and light the way for those around you, to earn their respect by becoming the top brand in new vehicle quality in the automotive industry. Start the new year with a lineup of Ram trucks built to serve.
Right now, get $3,550 in total values on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
This is why you want Farmers Claim Forgiveness. Your home premium won't go up just because of this.
Wow, that's something.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. Get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Dallin and Zubin coming up on the E-Trade Halftime Report. Number 1, having a little more of a struggle than you might think, and the number 1 SEC conference upset of the year is in the books. What do you see in the first half?
LSU got in flow by getting some turnovers, and also Tennessee playing into their hands by taking some quick shots. And now in the half court, LSU's been better. Tennessee's got to be patient and keep getting themselves to the foul line. Get it side to side, second and third side. Be patient, because LSU right now is committing fouls. That's how Tennessee's staying in this game. Most importantly, I've called a couple games with Tom Hart. He's had some mischievous glint in his eye sometimes when you say the right thing. Damian, can we get some more Belgrade stories? Because that was as hyped as Hart has been all game.
Serbian talk.
Yeah.
I guess we have to save that for post-game, Dallin, but that's a brilliant observation.
You know better than that.
Tennessee living at the free throw line. This will be their 14th attempt of the first half. 12 team fouls on LSU. Another one coming for Olivier Kamwa. You got any Finland stories? You been there?
No, I do not have any Finland stories. No stories out of me, Tom Hart. We talk about the players, their stories in their lives and their families.
Okay.
Our stories we keep to ourselves.
Kamwa goes 1 of 2. Tennessee only shooting 33% from the field. but 11 of 15 from the free throw line. Reach in. Kamwa, it's his first.
We talked about LSU being an attacking defensive team. They're really an attacking offensive team as well. They don't like to display a lot of patience. They want it quick, which is how they got in trouble with Auburn, because Auburn is a team that wants it quick, but they have more horses that night to get it than LSU.
I thought Auburn also has great interior defense, and 43% of LSU shots come at the rim. That is tough to do against that Auburn front line.
Yeah, Walker Kessler, Jabari Smith Jr., one of the best front lines, if not the best front line in the country.
Jabari Smith Sr. played for John Brady, who's just a few seats away from us on the LSU radio crew. Now foul Milwaukee Wilkinson, his first. More SEC action will follow us. Those Auburn Tigers taking on Florida up next on ESPN2. So here's Fulkerson to the free throw line.
I talked to Fulkerson before the game, and I said, congratulations on your NIL deal. He said, well, I'm not getting that much money. You see a blatant push at the back. And he said, I said, well, one thing I like about it is the fact that you're actually giving back.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's giving $1 back is something that I think all young men and women should look at when they get the NIL.
Fulkerson commits the foul, and it's his first. You give $1 every so often, charity too.
Absolutely.
Fulkerson had a monster game in that pre-Christmas win against Arizona. He had 24 points and 10 boards. But then contracted COVID when he went back to the Tri-Cities, Tennessee, for Christmas break. Missed the Alabama game. 18 minutes, he said, limited against Ole Miss. Darius Days at the free throw line. Vescovy will return.
Right now for Tennessee, at this particular junction of the game, you've kind of absorbed the blows of LSU and their fans. So this next 2 minutes, 55 seconds, so important. Dallin talked about it in the studio. You know, if they continue to allow this tempo to be up and down, this game could really get out of hands, and they could be down double digits.
Pat Adams says Tennessee ball, but Barlenix will have a chat with him, and it'll end up being LSU. Went off of Kamala's face off of the Kara.
If there's any LSU fans out there and you want to communicate to the fans here, Pat Adams is an official that does not get rowdy.
No.
You can say what you want to say, yell what you want to yell.
Now he's been around a little bit. Floater doesn't go. Josiah Jordan-James with the rebound.
Solid defense. This is where they have decisions to make. See, I like that. Good push. It wasn't there. So stay poised, reset your offense, and make LSU guard on this end for a little bit.
Vescovy. Ziegler lets it fly. Got it.
Picture perfect offense. They tried their first offensive break. It wasn't there. Then they reversed sides of the floor and a nice three-point shot.
Ziegler hit 3 threes in the win against Ole Miss, and a corner 3 answer from Milwaukee Wilkinson. It's his second triple tonight. Ball movement. Vescovy with the fake, gives it right back. This is Chandler. Back-to-back, top of the key threes for UT.
Now we finally got a basketball game, like two boxers who have finally figured one another out. On this end for LSU, you mentioned it earlier, the ability to get to the basket. Let's see if LSU continues to settle for three-point.
Where did the offense come from? Both sides had drained triples on each of the last 2 trips. That time it was Xavier Pinson. Chandler open lane. And he draws the foul on Wilkinson. It's his second.
Well, this is the ball reversal that we talked about. You see how it continues to move LSU's defense. This is called putting the defense in the rotation. Obviously a beautiful job. And then on the other end, you see Wilkinson LSU doing it in the first pass. Two different styles on both the offensive and defensive end, and we're seeing that on display now.
So Kennedy Chandler ends up at the free throw line. As you see Pinson's step back go in. Chandler's the only freshman on the 20-man Bob Cousy Award list as the nation's best point guard. Freshman from Memphis. Went to Briarcrest Christian and then Sunrise Christian Academy outside of Wichita. 5-star recruit, #1 point guard in the country, coming out of high school as rated by ESPN.
And I think he may have the quickest first step in the country. There's a lot of quality guards across the country, but I don't know if they have his ability to get by the defender at any time. I think Remy Martin at Kansas has an outstanding first step as well. Javon Quinterly over at Alabama.
Yeah, he's got speed.
Wendell Green Jr.
Pinson cut off. Approached the 1-minute mark in the first half. Tennessee has fought to make this a 5-point game. LSU led by 10 at one point. Big blank look. Tari Eason. And an LSU steal. And that's how they do it. Brandon Murray gets another bucket. It was 5 a second ago, and it's back to 9. Home crowd rises on its feet. Chandler shoves it in.
Love this young freshman. And that's how quickly LSU can make runs. They've been down in multiple games and came back and win. Actually up in this game. I look for Pinson to run this ball screen off of Eason with about 8 seconds left to go in this first half.
Pinson will get it back. There's your 8 seconds. Going a little bit later than you thought. It's all the way down to 4. Pinson does not try to penetrate. That's going to be all over him, and he has to heave it.
Tennessee switched to a zone that time, Tom, right before those 8 seconds occurred.
Well, no question, LSU's best offense has been their defense. 12 points off of 7 Tennessee turnovers. They get one on the inbounds. They take it from a 5-point lead to 9. 42-35 our score at the half. Let's get to the studio. Zubin and Down. Gentlemen.
Tom, thanks very much indeed. Like you said, the E-Trade halftime report is underway. Down, let's start with the country's best team. We've got a tougher than expected fight from TCU for most of this game.
Yeah, we'll show you Checo Bannon hitting the 3, but Mikey Miles was a difference maker for the Horned Frogs. Kept him in this game. He had 22 through the first 23 minutes of this game. He had a wrist injury. He went out, and then Baylor Bears turned up their defensive energy. Miles came back in the game, was not the same guy, just 4 points, and guys took over. Like James Akinjo had a huge day, as did LJ Cryer, and Adam Flagler had 18 in the second, but defensively is how the Bears pulled away in this one.
You mentioned Cryer. There he is. They win by a dozen, but deep into the second half, this was a ball game. Alabama, Mizzou. Mizzou was shorthanded. It didn't matter. Quinterly scored here. Bama led at the half, and then the Tigers just broke it open.
Hey, shout out to Conzo Martin and crew, man. This team has been down and out. They've had a rough year to this point, but they came out here with a focused energy. They got any shot they wanted, and that's mostly because Alabama really does not guard. They don't guard at the level they need to be successful. They definitely don't guard and have the personnel that they had last year. And I'll tell you what, Kobe Brown just absolutely dominated this game from start to finish. 30 points, 13 rebounds, was efficient from the line. Congratulations to that team. They deserve the W.
And they did it shorthanded, 92-86. Brown had 30. With that, we welcome you inside the E-Trade halftime report with Dallin Cuff. I'm Zubin Mehenti. This has been a game of runs here. I know you've been impressed by Kennedy Chandler at some stages. Tough basket late there in the first half. What are you seeing first half here in Baton Rouge?
He's got to be the guy that he was the last 6 minutes of this game. Now, this game's not an easy game to play into, but this team both these teams are physical, two of the best defensive teams in the country. LSU got the tempo they wanted. They got some points off turnovers, 12 of them. They got it going up and down. But Tennessee, when they're able to get it to the second and third side, and Chandler's able to play, make, and score, they're going to be able to hang in this game. But they've got to take care of the ball. Every possession is so valuable because you feel that environment, too. Yeah. The SEC is loaded with great environments and great teams. It's probably the deepest conference top to bottom. And as Missouri just showed, you got to show up every single night to play or you're going to get beat.
No question about it. We get another good SEC matchup after we're done in Baton Rouge between Florida and Auburn. On the way, if you are a ranked top 20 team on the road, today was not your day. We'll run through it next on the E-Trade halftime report.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade. Stop waiting. Start investing.
1:15 a.m. and time for another classic hit.
Welcome to Sonic. May I take your order?
Can I get 2 patty melts?
Melting the cheese. Order up.
Sonic patty melt.
Cold season is back. Bounce back fast with Alka-Seltzer Plus. With 25% more concentrated power. Alka-Seltzer Plus. Oh, what a relief it is. So fast. Also try for cough, mucus, and congestion.
The KFC chicken sandwich is only served one way. Straight from the fryer, piping hot, and Kentucky Fried to order. If you don't like it this way, you'll have to go somewhere else. KFC, it's finger licking good.
People assume these photo shoots are easy. Just like they assume they can't afford great insurance. But State Farm has rates that fit any budget. What?
Can I get a profile?
All in the core. For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Hulu has live TV.
Hulu has live sports?
They do.
It also has over 75 live channels.
Woo! Flip like cable, stream like Hulu.
Stay. We are so sorry. We hope you'll have us over again. He's in training. Oh, if I weren't earning 2% cash back right now, you'd be in so much trouble. Are you serious? Again, my apologies. Got myself a pair, too.
The Wells Fargo Active Cash Visa Card. That's real life ready.
Those old shirts smelled as funky as they looked. At Cricket, we re-engineered vintage style. Softer fabrics, modern fits. Old school done better.
Store warranties, they're ripoffs. Upsy gets you reliable coverage for your electronics after you leave the store. And you save up to 70%. You also get quick 24/7 claims nationwide. Upsy.com, the smarter way to warranty.
Welcome back to the E-Trade Halftime Report.
As we mentioned, tough day for ranked road teams. Kansas back and forth in Lubbock, but at the end it was the Red Raiders down.
Bryson Williams was huge. He had 22 points, 8 rebounds. There's no Terrence Shannon, Zubin. No Kevin McCullough. Those guys averaged 28 a game. There was Christian Brown doing that. He had a great last stretch of 4 minutes and kept Kansas in this game, only 10 points on the night. But overall, Texas Tech, it was defensively. They made it hard. They made Kansas go into a zone. Their passing and cutting in this game was outstanding. With their 2 leading scorers, were able to get basically anything they wanted and win this game at home in a great environment.
75-67, big win for Coach Adams for sure. This was a little bit of a head scratcher. Texas and Oklahoma, Timmy Allen to Brock Cunningham here. Texas cuts into it, but these transfers aren't coming together as fast as many people thought.
The previous 2 Big 12 games, they were about or over a point per possession. Their offense started to look a little bit better. It was a little easier to score. Their defense has gotten there the last 2 or 3 weeks. But offensively in this game where they disjointed, they had allowed 18 points off turnovers. Kalen Boone was outstanding. He had 17 points. You see 5 of 7 from deep there. And this team is, we just talked about transfers before off air. We're saying that you got to meld them together, get the pieces. The pieces are not fitting yet. They still have time and a lot of talent, but Chris Beard's got some work to do with these guys.
Likely there from downtown. Purdue and Penn State, the team you thought that would win this game won it, but the final score makes you feel it wasn't as easy as you would have thought.
Hey, shout out to Micah Shrewsbury and his boys. They passed and made shots down the stretch. They threw everything they had at the Boilermakers, but Purdue had answers every time. Here's Jaden Ivey going to the 10. Travion Williams had a big game with the tip-in, 21 points in this game, and able to step in, as always, for Zach Edey, who had foul trouble. Williams did his thing, and Mason Gillis had 14 points. Big threes down the stretch. The Boilers answered every single call every time the bell rang, and they got a big win.
Yeah, the top of the Big Ten is going to be something to watch here. The rest of the season, that'll drop, and they win 74-67 in State College. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I feel safe saying it's going to be a long, long season for Virginia.
You know what? The last two games, they look different. They came out of after getting shellacked by 17 against Clemson. The last two games, they won on the road in ACC play, but this game was not going to happen that way. Armando Bacot was an absolute beast. 29 points, 21 rebounds. And Virginia wants to bring the physicality. They did that in the last two games. They couldn't match it here. And Brady Manick, nice little drop-off pass. Manick also had 20-plus points, and 19 points. Those two combined for 48. It was a dominant performance from start to finish for Hubert Davis's group. Easy win in Chapel Hill. More on Bacot. 29 and 21, third Carolina player in the past quarter century that's gone for a 25-20 game. On the way. Next, we'll answer that question. How about them Wildcats?
To run a growing business is to be on a journey. And along the ride, you'll have many questions, challenges, and a few surprises. But wherever you are on your journey, your Dell Technologies advisor is here for you with the right tech solutions, so you can stop at nothing for your customers.
Tuna fish, Steve? We got a big second half of thermodynamics to teach, whatever that is. Now let's fuel up with some chunky soup. Let's go! Fill up with 19 grams of protein per can and chunky chicken noodle. Lunchtime is your halftime.
Of all the things that made Scrooge pout, he most disliked running and striding about. Until he discovered the Peloton tread. Sprinting and lifting sweat dripped from his head. His legs sang out like a Christmas choir. This grunt was #on fire. Now Scrooge ran the holidays, no doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
Welcome to the next level. This is the all-new Lexus NX with intuitive tech.
Watch for traffic.
And our most advanced safety system ever.
Local restaurants have been hit hard by fees from delivery apps.
They take a huge chunk of our bottom line. All of that comes out of our pocket and goes to them.
So Domino's franchisees went to local restaurants and bought $100,000 of their gift cards to give out to our customers. That way they could support a mom and pop by ordering directly from them.
And no one got hit by delivery app fees.
I can't believe one restaurant is buying another restaurant's gift certificates to give out, but it sure is wonderful.
So if you're not getting Domino's, skip the delivery apps and order directly from a local restaurant.
Well, someone's not doing their job.
Okay, let's keep going. Shopping for the game can be a minefield for young homeowners who have turned into their parents.
Can you believe how many different types of water they have in this aisle? Kim, did you just change blades back there? This is perfect. Jackpot, variety pack.
Remember, it's a football game, not a play date.
Roger that. One more slice.
It can be a lot.
Oh, good, the manager. Brian and produce, very helpful.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Pulls to the left a little bit. Nope.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade. Stop waiting. Start investing.
Georgia and Kentucky, and Dallin, when she was not rebounding, he scored.
This is just way too easy. Right, two passes, right down Broadway, drop it off. This is a tight game, though, because Kentucky wasn't guarding in the first half. Didn't play with the energy, effort, or focus. They've got to do that differently in the second half. As you see, they're getting any shot they want. If they do on the defensive end as they started the first couple of minutes, they're going to run away with this thing. Tata Washington, it's on the SEC Network. Dallin, first thing you mentioned when I walked in today, tough spot for road teams that are highly ranked. Conference play is here, see, and Colorado State were in the ranks of the unbeaten, but you go to San Diego State and get trounced. It's an impressive defensive team, and they showed it at the biggest stage. 30-point loss drops them from the ranks of the undefeated. This has been the E-Trade Halftime Reports.
Son, it's time we had the talk. No, Dad. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places, so even here, I can use my new iPhone 13 Pro with 5G to share this video I made with your mom using iPhone's new cinematic mode. What? Plus, with speeds as fast as Wi-Fi nationwide, I can upload this fast. I'm not sure you want to share that. Too late. Already hit send.
T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone.
Maybe people won't see it. They already did.
With clean, fresh ingredients, Panera's new chicken sausage and pepperoni flatbread is a mouth-watering explosion of yes. Craft? Yes. Heartiness? Yes. Living life to the flavor fullest? Heck yes. Panera. Live your yes. Now $1 delivery.
It's a gas card. You can always use gas.
Always.
But you have a...
Mm-mm. Thank you.
Evolve your journey in the first ever Tucson plug-in hybrid EV.
Juliana, Big Mac, no pickles, extra special sauce. And Jimena, quarter pounder with cheese, extra pickles, no onions.
Thanks, Dad.
You got it.
Enjoy any two classics for $6, like a Big Mac or quarter pounder with cheese for a limited time at McDonald's.
Superpowers from a spider bite. I could use some help showing the world how Liberty Mutual customizes their car insurance. Ow! I'm okay!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only in theaters December 17th.
As humankind faces its most critical challenges yet, the world demands leaders, and LSU is taking up the charge. The research we do here goes everywhere to protect communities threatened by climate change, so you can live your life with fewer worries about tomorrow. We're formulating a better way for everyone, because at LSU, our calling is humanity.
What Public does is an incredible service for people. By making the investing process more social, Public is making it a lot more approachable for people who just want to learn. I've discovered a lot of companies that I probably never would have come across without the conversations that I participate in on Public. And the fact that I can do what I know I should be doing, investing my money, letting my money work for me, while also getting that community aspect in the conversation, it was just a no-brainer.
Use code TV to get up to $300 in free stock when you sign up today. Public.com.
After years of being broke, when I finally started to make money, I was like, I need to make this money work for me. I tell people all the time, especially women and women of color, let's build wealth. Even if it is, bit by bit, year by year, that helps to change the dynamics. And that actually is like directly activism. I really, really want women to be a part of what I feel is a revolution in finance right now.
Wait.
Welcome back to Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. Inside the PMAC and a great crowd on hand in Baton Rouge. This is the SEC on ESPN. Two defensive-minded teams saw their offenses get on a roll a time or two. It's a 42-35 lead for number 21 LSU at the half. Tom Hart alongside Damian Fishback. We told you what LSU would do offensively. They need takeaways to lead to the offense, and they were able to accomplish that.
Yeah, LSU turned Tennessee over 7 times in that first half, a team that's only averaging 12 turnovers a game. And so let's take a look at how they did that. See the panic right there by Justin Powell? You got 2 defenders plus the out-of-bounds line as an additional defender. He turns that over, and now you see Brandon Murray off to the races. On the other end, though, we talked about Tennessee going inside out. When they did that early, they were able to knock down the trifecta. 4 of 14. A few more of those go down, and we've got a different basketball game. But the key is they also got to the free throw line. They were 19 times, 13 of 19, versus LSU only getting there 10 times.
5 LSU players have 2 fouls or more. Keep an eye on that as Volunteers have already been to the free throw line 19 times in this half. Will Wade using every single second he can in the huddle. Let's take advantage of it. What do you think he's telling this squad?
Well, he's telling his guys not to let up. When you think about LSU and their games this season, they've had multiple games, probably 7, 8 games where they've been down almost double digits and came back and won those games by double digits. I think he's excited that his team came out and responded well. That shows you the respect that they have for Tennessee. But at the same time, he knows they can't let up against a team like Tennessee.
LSU opening SEC play with 3 consecutive games against ranked opponents for the first time in school history. Auburn, Kentucky, and now Tennessee at home.
Well, if you saw this schedule, and if LSU were to be able to win the first 2 out of 3, I think Coach Will Wade would take that all day long.
No doubt. Lost the opener at Auburn. Here's Vescovy for 3 over Wilkinson.
Picking up where he's left off, always has had outstanding games against the Vanderbilt Commodores, and I think one of the more underrated shooters in the nation.
He plays pretty well against LSU as well, averaging 15.5 points per game in his career against the Tigers. Murray wanted to work it inside. Whoa, and Murray just out of focus here to start this possession.
Well, that can happen with the LSU Tigers. Give credit to Tennessee. These first 5 minutes, they have come out And now they're seeing looks like a 1-3-1 that LSU's running. So they've changed it up, and now they go back to man-to-man defense.
Tennessee's best offense in the first half was getting to the free throw line. Kamwa couldn't get elevation, and he left it short.
See, that's where they need patience.
Eason on the run.
That was all LSU. On the last trip, Pinson was actually guarding John Fulkerson. Tennessee didn't get a chance to see that. They shot a quick shot, and it allows the pace to go into the hands of the Tigers.
Vescovy may have gotten away with a step, at least if you listen to the folks in purple and gold. Here's Chandler. Into the corner, James really struggling on open and unguarded threes.
One thing you notice in this basketball game is there's not a lot of rim protection, if you will. Natari Eason actually does a pretty good job of blocking shots, but both of these teams, I think, should be going to the rim unless you're knocking it down like Darius Days.
Days was hot to start the season, 64% from three in his first 3 games. He cooled off considerably since, and Will Wade said, we've discussed this. I think we'll see more twos from him, the ability to put on the floor, to get into the paint, and he loves the 3. Here's Vescovy.
You start out the season with 8 3-pointers and 30 points. I'd be shooting the 3 too.
That's right. Well, you did. Shot clock down to 5. Days with the takeaway after Eason poked it. Eason steps through, and he draws the foul on Kamwa.
Well, Tennessee tries to come out and play the style and tempo that LSU has played. Here's this attacking defense that we talked about. LSU doesn't care how you want to be disciplined. When you think about other teams across the country that, you know, play with a slower tempo, you think about Wisconsin, right? A lot of teams actually in the Big Ten. But if they face a team like LSU, you're going to have to maintain that discipline for 40 minutes.
LSU gets 23 points a game off of turnovers compared to just 11 to their opponents. And we're talking to Will Wade today about this Tennessee team. Interesting that you would bring up Big Ten style. He said, you know, they remind me of a Big Ten team. And maybe that's stereotyping Big Ten teams, but the size inside, having a quick point guard who can break you down. But otherwise, it's evident that this is an LSU team that's more athletic across the board than Tennessee. We'll stay with Tennessee, trailing by 11. Just 3 minutes into the second half.
They got them rolling, don't they? You know, you think about some of the other players in the Big Ten. You got a Johnny Davis over at Wisconsin that allows them to play
what a
little
season
bit
he's having.
faster.
Yeah.
And right now for Tennessee, they need a player that can play in this style to loosen up the defense of LSU.
Plavšić with the jam. The time Tennessee has crept back into this game, LSU has answered with the flurry. Eason got shoved in from behind by James, I believe it is. That'll be his first. A college football playoff megacast is coming away for the national championship presented by AT&T. That is a full menu. That is like a Cheesecake Factory menu, right? I mean, whatever you want. Some things you don't even know what they are. Every platform, TV, radio, digital, so many ways to watch and listen to the biggest game of the year. SEC Network will have Eli Gold in the first half. Alabama hometown radio. The legend, he's looking for another ring. Eason has another free throw coming.
How many rings you think Nick Saban wants? You know,
more. The correct answer is always more.
How many do you think it would take until he said, okay, that's enough? I'm gonna allow some other people to have a couple of rings.
I think as soon as he gets to the point where he's not enjoying the competition, that will be dictated more than whether or not he's got a team to win it, because it certainly didn't look like it earlier this season. Largest lead of the game for LSU in front of the largest home crowd of the season. Nearly 13,000 in the PMAC.
Right now, this pressure has made Tennessee timid. You have to be aggressive, yet poised at the same time. There you go.
Plavšić. Last 2 possessions have ended in dunks by the Serbian. And a rejection. They're going to get that one out of bounds. Wow, how did he get up so quickly?
Well, he's the difference maker. When I talked about Tennessee needing a player, you don't have to be in New Orleans to have a block party. Right here in Baton Rouge, Olivier Conboy having one on his own. He's the guy who I think separates them from a second weekend team to potentially trying to get to the Final Four. Good hands.
Wilkinson kept it alive. Days. That's what Will Wade was talking about. He's got to find a way to get easy buckets. That's padding your stats. If you can do that, then hit a couple from deep.
I absolutely love his basketball game.
4-on-2 for Tennessee, and Vescovi couldn't decide. The result is his first personal.
And right now you've got Wilkinson and Euros Plavšić that's actually going back and forth. They're conversating. Now, you can't allow yourself to get caught up into this crowd, into the physical play that's going on. If you're Tennessee, you have to be more poised than that.
Plavšić has drawn the ire of the LSU faithful for his activity after the whistle. LSU 50% from the floor in the second half. Pinson breaks down Chandler, went for the reach. Got his own miss. Shuffle into the corner. And a three ball for Eason. LSU is rolling. Chandler forces one. An air ball. Days high-low. Eason point break. LSU extends the lead. Rick Barnes got to use a timeout.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Tennessee fans thinking, not again, not again. Right now, Tari Eason, Darius Days, all of the LSU Tigers are lit.
With DirecTV Stream, I can get live TV and on demand anywhere. Look, Serena Williams, Matrix. Serena, Matrix. Serena, Matrix.
Get your TV together with the best of live and on demand. Introducing DirecTV Stream.
At Lowe's, you never have to be finished with your finishing touches, with aisles of ways to refresh and restyle for whatever style you're feeling, and prices you're really feeling. Shop the Lowe's Bath Style and Save event now, in-store and online.
We all need help.
Well then!
Just not always the same kind.
Wait!
Maybe you just need a little.
Thanks.
Maybe you need a lot.
Nice technique.
It seems like she's got it, but she might need an extra hand later. And when it comes to taxes,
So, where are you moving to?
H&R Block can help a little or a lot. At H&R Block, get the expert tax help you need, online and in person. Help is here.
Cough, cough, sneeze, sneeze. Needs. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold Relief. Dissolves quickly, instantly ready to start working. So you can bounce back fast with Alka-Seltzer Plus. Now available for fast sinus relief.
Shh, you think she's still awake?
Don't worry.
The Lexus RX, built for modern families.
Get $1,500 lease cash toward a 2022 RX 350.
Your mom's gotta go.
She's family.
She's using my Old Spice moisturizer with shea butter, and she's wearing my robe.
We're out.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out Pizza Hut.
This is why you want Farmers Claim Forgiveness. Your home premium won't go up just because of this.
Wow, that's something.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. Get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
These are the believers. But one question remains. Whose belief is strongest?
Like the Tiger crowd surfing and LSU cruising. They've outscored Tennessee 16-7 in the second half. Hey, court's now named after the legendary Dale Brown. 25 years of head coach, 448 wins. What do you think of when you see Coach Brown?
Well, I think about the LSU tradition that he really established along with a lot of other people who came through here. But it reminds me of how people in the LSU program stay around the program. You see his Final Four, his titles, his tournament appearances. But even John Brady that you mentioned, it's something about when people go to LSU, whether it's a coach or a player, they tend to truly stay around that university.
1981 and 86 Final Fours for Dale. Kennedy Chandler goes baseline, trying to get him to Klopchich, and he will muscle his way to a miss. That's how the second half has gone for Tennessee.
Well, it's gotten out of hand because they've played into the style and pace of LSU. This is what I told Coach Rick Barnes that I thought LSU would do. Go at the smaller guards of Tennessee, and that's what Darius Days does over Santiago Vescovi.
Days, the last game, only attempted 1-2. He was 3 for 11 from 3 against Kentucky and 0 for 1 from 2. Now he's gotten some easy ones inside. LSU with an 18-point lead. They've got 17 points off Tennessee turnover.
You want fries with that? Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
Take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put them in the cage, never let out the. I hear him checking the boys, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, not so tough, but nice keep talking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, like girls, let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Let it tell me I'm awesome. Let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution.
At Hilton, stay up past her bedtime. Remember what a night out feels like. And thanks to Confirmed Connecting Rooms by Hilton, sneak in for a good night kiss. Book our family of brands at Hilton.com. To new memories, Hilton.
Assuming all NBA players want rings. It's like assuming State Farm doesn't have great rates.
Why do we have coasters if nobody gonna use them?
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
It was a tragedy. With knockoff batteries, Little Miss Cupcake never stood a chance. Until Energizer Ultimate Lithium. The #1 longest-lasting AA battery. Case closed.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing, except buying them without Capital One Shopping.
What's that, Samuel, Mr. L. Jackson?
Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them. Just download it to your computer.
Whoa, you're my hero.
Yeah, I can tell.
You like it?
I look good in miniature. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius.
What's in your wallet?
I don't say it like that, Devin.
I came out paddleboarding and a hard wind came in and it's pushing me out to sea.
It's pushing you out to sea?
Yeah. I'm pretty far out in the ocean. I've been stuck out here for a couple hours.
All right, so it's getting a little hairy.
I can't fight the wind anymore.
We're going to send for a water rescue, okay?
Thank you.
No, don't appreciate nothing. We have everybody coming for you.
Welcome to Super Tuesday. We get a good matchup here. The #1 team in the country. You have legit national title contenders.
Boy, does it have a big feel about it in this one.
Welcome back, college basketball. What else could you ask for? It'll be a Super Tuesday, and in the SEC, Kentucky goes to Vandy. Cats having their way with Georgia tonight. Fish. Oscar Sheboy has 23 points and 16 boards, and there's still 8 minutes left.
Yeah, Wildcats, one of the hottest teams in college basketball right now. Ever since that loss at Notre Dame, people's tried to forget about them a little bit. What did they do? They came out and blew out a North Carolina team who I think is playing well right now. Western Kentucky as well. And then they lost here, but didn't have Sahvir Wheeler for the majority of that game. And even Sheboy was in foul trouble. And Ty Washington goes out a little bit late. I think they're one of the hottest teams in the country, but Vanderbilt could be a sleeper.
Scottie Pippen Jr., what do you like about the Alabama guards in the second game of the night?
Oh, my goodness. I think they're the best backcourt in college basketball collectively, but the biggest piece is going to be J.D. Davison. Can he continue to learn quick in his play?
Another LSU takeaway, and they'll get Comwa for his third personal foul. And harassing LSU defense got the knockaway with the shot clock winding down. LSU's outscored Tennessee 18-7. And they forced the Vols into 3 turnovers this half.
Well, Dallin Cuff talked about the first break. He talked about Tennessee continuing to get to the free throw line. And we talked about at the half that they almost doubled the free throws of LSU. Well, now Tennessee still has 19 turnovers, and this will be LSU's 14th turnover now from the game.
It's a 10-0 run. Murray out of Baltimore Poly, where he played for the Polytechnic Institute Engineers, Mr. Basketball in the state of Maryland, the city player of the year. He's a big Kevin Durant fan. You could expect that being from the DMV, huh?
When you talked about Kevin Durant, Jay Billis, I thought he made a good point the other day. He talked about Jabari Jr. Wow, that's a lot of contact. He talked about Jabari Jr. being someone who compared. Now, he said he's not Kevin Durant. I think it's a great point, but it's been a long time since we've seen anybody that shoots it like that at 6'10". That's who you can watch in this next basketball game.
I feel like Jabari Davis, the biggest difference between when Kevin Durant played for Rick Barnes and where Jabari is now as a freshman is the size and the strength and the ability to go inside and bang.
Well, yeah, Jabari Jr., like his dad who played here at LSU, has good size, but I think being around his dad allowed him to really advance. He's played against older guys his entire time, and we'll see him matched up against Colin Castleton in Florida in the next game.
Castleton, a great shot blocker. You mentioned the fact that Jabari Davis Sr., who's a 7-footer and a real post player for John Brady, played here at LSU. Boy, they had a good team. There's Chris Blair, play-by-play voice, working next to Coach Brady. Pardon me, Jabari Smith, and socially distant Coach Brady on the far right. Chandler has it thrown right to him. And then taken away. LSU coughs it up again. I think Blanche Dubois said it best. I've always depended on the kindness of strangers, and both teams giving it away tonight.
Well, I've seen a lot of basketball this year, and the one thing that I noticed when coming and looking at LSU face-to-face was just how big they are. And when I say big, I'm talking about the length on each player. Efton Reed, a 7-footer. You look at Alex Fudd, another 6'8", 6'9", Tari Eason, Darius Days. These guys are long, and by no means am I comparing them to the Chicago Bulls, but when you get guys 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", like a Ron Harper, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, I think those guys can switch a lot. They make it hard for you offensively, and that's what they're doing against Tennessee.
Reed is in foul trouble and gets out of the way of Plavsic with 7 points. Yeah, Efton Reed III is 7 feet tall. He's a freshman. He was 6'5" in 7th grade, and he wasn't on the basketball team. Then he got to 8th grade, and he made the basketball team, but he wasn't a starter. And he said, I guess I'm a late bloomer. He said, I just played and played in a steady progress to get to where he is now, starting for LSU, a 21st ranked team in the country. Wow. What a huge swat by Alex Fudge. He rejected the 7-footer. You will rarely see a block this emphatic on a 7-footer who's standing right in front of the rim.
Well, Tom, this is some of the length that I'm talking about. Go get it, young fella. Upstairs to the top floor, and you see where he meets him at the top of the white square. What a block. Sports Center top 10.
Fudge 6'8", he's got a wingspan of 7 feet, and he used every inch of it to pin that one against the window. Here's James, open 3. I just can't imagine from Josiah Jordan-James' perspective, as much as he's struggled with open threes or even slightly contested threes, that he's shooting the ball with a lot of confidence right now.
Well, listen, basketball's a game of confidence, and right now, Tennessee's struggling. But I told Coach Will Wade this from the very beginning. I said, when you face LSU, because of their length, their size, their athleticism, the first time you face them, you're going to be shell-shocked.
Yep. Fudge back out to Days. He'll pull the trigger. Fudge finds it. Days tips it in for his 14th. 19-point LSU advantage.
Tom, I told people about a month ago that I thought LSU was one of the more underrated teams in college basketball. And remember, they did not have Brandon Murray on the road at Auburn. I'm going to tell you something. I'll reiterate that. We could be looking at the most underrated team in college basketball, Darius Days and the LSU Tigers.
With DirecTV Stream, I can get live TV and on demand anywhere. Look, Serena Williams, Matrix. Serena, Matrix. Serena, Matrix.
Get your TV together with the best of live and on demand. Introducing DirecTV Stream.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizza the Hut.
This is your home. This is your family room / gym. The guest bedroom / music studio. The daybed / dog bed. The living room / yoga shanty / regional office. How did you guys do it? / classroom. And this is the basement / panic room. Maybe what your family needs is a vacation home / vacation home. Find yours on the Vrbo app.
The magic is calling you to a celebration 50 years in the making. Feel the magic everywhere. Share the wonder of new unbelievable sights. Share the light all around you. And see the world you love shine like never before. Join us for the Walt Disney World 50th Anniversary Celebration.
Expand your limits in the 2022 Lexus GX with Apple CarPlay support.
Get 2.49% APR financing on the 2022 GX 460.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it New York style. So you can fold it or not. Ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York style pizza from Papa John's.
Oh, there's my little nephew. He looks more like Dad every time I see him. Dad is old. Right. So your message said you wanted to talk about insurance? I said I want you to talk about insurance. Well, most people know that bundling home and auto saves you money. Keep saying your words. But did you know that new customers who bundle and save with Progressive can save an average of $800? Sleeping baby. I love you too.
Well, here's what we got covered for you on the SEC Network, getting ready for the national championship from Indianapolis. SEC this morning, bright and early and chilly at 8 a.m. Marty and McGee at 2. Feinbaum comes your way at 3. First half of the game, Eli Golden, Alabama radio. Second half with Scott Howard and Georgia's team. Fish, you love SEC football. I know you got a pick.
Right.
Who's your pick?
Well, I think everybody knows the pick. I mean, come on, man. How many rings does he have?
Yeah, he's
How
the
many
GOAT.
times has he won? He's the GOAT, man.
So we were supposed to bring socks. I didn't wear it traditionally, so I just put it in the old pocket square. I'm with you. I got Alabama. I don't know. I have one single sock. What about you? You got crab socks?
Well,
on?
I'm just wondering why I didn't get the socks, man. Who I need to talk to get socks
Yours
around
are
here?
way better than mine.
I've seen socks all over ESPN, and I didn't get me a sock. Who I need to talk to?
Vescovy has that redirected, and they'll get a foul on Efton Reed, the third. His foul is the fourth.
Efton Reed, believe it or not, we haven't talked about him a lot, but I think he's the difference on whether LSU just goes to the second weekend or he's able to go, or they're able to go much further. When you think about some of the bigs across the country, Kofi Cockburn obviously doing another great job at Illinois. I think Efton Reed gives them an inside presence when you face somebody who's going to position them in a half-court offense.
Freshman from Richmond, Virginia, played at Stewart High School and then on to IMG. He started at Chickahominy Middle School, where he couldn't see the floor, even though he towered over everybody else. He said he's so into film. He said, I'm very analytical. I'd love to break down the film, get the scouting reports. It usually only takes me 2 or 3 watches to pick out what the opposition is trying to do. The problem is he commits more than 3 fouls a game, and foul trouble has had him on the bench for most of this one.
This is the first time we've seen full court pressure by Tennessee. I like this decision by Coach Rick Barnes, though.
Murray gets fouled as they solve the pressure. He and Reed were roommates at IMG Academy. It's the second on Kennedy Chandler. Is Barnes playing with fire by pressuring LSU at this point, or is this 11 minutes ago and you got to throw everything out there?
Well, one thing that I wouldn't do if I'm Coach Rick Barnes is just sit on the sideline and allow this game to go in the same direction. He doesn't win 740 games doing that. So what he's deciding is, let's try some different things. Let's see if we can throw off the fluidity and the flow for the LSU Tigers. So he tried some inbound pressure that time. If I was him, I'd maybe mix it up, even try a little 2-2-1, back to a 2-3 zone. Just something, because LSU doesn't like to play in the half court. They want it quick. They want it fast. So does this crowd. Anything he can do to throw them off and just get stops.
Murray missed them both. Vescovy with the rebound.
Look at that pressure. And you see Gaines, number 2 in white, moving like that. He's 6'6", quick, fast, long.
Murray commits his third. Pardon me, that's a fourth on Murray.
Said Gaines was 6'6", he's more like 6'3", but you talk about the wingspan on these teams. One thing that we saw Tennessee do at the outset was go inside. When's the last time we saw that?
It's been a while. As a result, they haven't gotten to the free throw line either. Will Wade had a great line about Eric Gaines at shoot-around today. He said, he's one of those guys that on any given night can be the best player for both teams. he giveth and he taketh away. Contrary to his in-game actions, Will Wade, as a human being, is a very chill, understated guy and a fun conversationalist. You're just sitting around talking ball. A little bit different once the clock starts.
That's why he walked that 4.5 miles this morning, right?
Yeah.
So he could be calm, reserved, relaxed.
Meshack hadn't played much tonight. Damon Meshack gets on the board. I was thinking maybe he has to walk 4 miles because he keeps getting the Arancini at Geno's. You go to Geno's, you start with the Arancini, then you go with the veal parm, the chicken parm, whatever comes next. I mean, a lot of walking you got to do after that. Here's Days. Offensive board, Meshack whistled for the foul, and that'll put Alex Fudge at the free throw line.
So what do we see here? what we've noticed, and I love how conference play teaches you about the teams. It shows all your warts. Now, Tennessee's had an outstanding non-conference schedule. Villanova, Arizona, Texas Tech, who knocked off Kansas. But what they're seeing in this basketball game is that the small lineup that they play, Santiago Vescovi, Kennedy Chandler, it hurts them not only on switches defensively, but the ability to finish and complete your defensive possession with the rebound when you're facing a team as long and athletic as LSU.
And there's some real size in this lead. We need one of those for you, Fish.
What's that?
Well, those big heads. Here's Fudge at the free throw line from Lee High School in Jacksonville. Speaking of Alabama football, playing for the national championship, his favorite athlete growing up was Derrick Henry, Jacksonville native. Chandler steps through. Good pass. Fulkerson got raked across the face. He just has a way of getting to the line. Fulkerson drew 4 fouls in the first half. Third on Wilkinson.
You notice, though, and we talked about going inside, what a solid screen by John Fulkerson, and there's that first step that I talked about with Kennedy Chandler. You notice how as much as we've seen LSU dominate this game, a 16-point lead, that's not a deficit that Tennessee can't come back from. They just got to get hot on the defensive end, and what else? Get to the charity stripe. We finally are now seeing them get back to the free throw line because they're taking the basketball inside.
They hit 3 consecutive threes late in the game against Ole Miss to send it to overtime, a game they didn't lead until it made it to the extra period. You can't win with Fulkerson sitting on 2 points. That's his third.
I thought he played the best game of his career against Arizona.
It was remarkable after struggling last season and the ups and downs that he had to deal with, coming back for his 6th year and doing it in front of a packed house at Thompson Bowling. Handed Arizona its first loss. Cats got COVIDed out. They were supposed to play at Arizona State. They still only have 1 loss. Wilkinson commits his 4th.
Well, now you got both teams in the bonus. LSU is a team in which they're never out of a basketball game, and if you're playing them, you're really never out of a basketball game.
Why is that?
Because LSU plays one style, one tempo. They like to get up and down. That shot by Tari Eason was just him going one-on-one, wanting to get up a shot. Not a bad look for him, but when you're up 15, 16 points, probably not the shot. You want to show some more patience. But it's how LSU plays. It's how they've won. It's how they've got the best record in the SEC over the last 3 years.
To Bailey at the free throw line. And here is that pace and the tempo, and it leads to a turnover. Numbers for Tennessee. Chandler with the dump off and a finish by Kamwa.
Never out of it. So now the question is, if you're Tennessee, how many of these stops can you get in a row?
The answer was going to be 2 before the foul bailed out LSU.
Oh, this is more of the defense that we talked about with Tennessee. When you penetrate, you can expect help and expect it early. You have to be strong with the basketball, and typically you need to reverse the basketball, put their defense in rotation before you can attack.
Here's Eric Gaines at the free throw line. Came in top 10 in the SEC at 82% from the free throw line. Didn't look like it enough. Lopchich back in. James returns as well for Tennessee. And that'll put Bailey on the bench.
Can't believe were they booing Euros?
Yeah, yep, they're not. They must not be as big a fan of Serbia as you are.
Well, I was about to say he's laughing at that. They throw bricks at you in Serbia. You kidding me? A boo? He's like, you're right.
How long did your Serbian professional career last?
A year, and I was out of there.
Long 3 off the mark. Days fouled on the rebound. He's all smiles. He's one of those throwback with the, 4-year player, number one. Number two, you got the T-shirt under the jersey, a la Patrick Ewing, right? I mean, that's an old school look.
Yeah.
It's like we got in a time machine for this game.
Yeah, you're happy for a guy like Darius Days, though, because look, the transfer portal has hit college basketball like a tornado, and it's shifted all these teams. And with the pandemic, we've had guys that you don't know what year they're in, but I think it's all worked out because to see the performers across college basketball, we mentioned Brockton earlier, that's at Iowa State. How about Darius Days? He's one of those guys that actually stayed. He stayed home. He stayed with Coach Bill Wade, and it has paid phenomenal dividends. And you see him doing it on all ends of the court, defensively, offensively. He's a blue-collar player.
19 career double-doubles. That's the SEC's active leader. And he's 4 rebounds away from another. Got to deal with thrown bricks in Serbia. Kind of sounds like dodgeball. Chandler off the window. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball. LSU by a dozen. Chandler's got 16. Step on the end line for an LSU turnover.
And so right now, we've seen for Tennessee, they've gotten hot defensively. And when we say hot, it's just like offensively, multiple stops in a row. So on this end, the key is just getting good looks at the basket right now. Kennedy Chandler has been the key, though. I want the basketball in his hand as much as possible if I'm Rick Barnes.
5-on-3 now for Tennessee. Good numbers. 8 LSU turnovers in the second half. Lopchich. Fouled by Days. So Tennessee took advantage of LSU's aggressive defense in the first half by getting to the free throw line. And this will be the 28th attempt. It'll be a new season high from the line for Tennessee. Lopchich used every bit of it. Not only do you have to dodge the bricks, but you can also play against pretty good competition over there. Uros Lopchich playing against guys like Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
Right on the national team.
Oh, it's quality basketball over there now. And you think you got passion here in the SEC. You go over to Belgrade and Serbia, and you'll see some passionate fans over there as well.
Pinson. And rejection inside, not once but twice. Lopchich not happy. He thought he was fouled a couple of times. Here's Chandler. In traffic, and Days ends up with it.
Yeah, too quick. Trying to go against the length of LSU. That's one I'm sure Tennessee wishes that could get back.
Tennessee's made it an 11-point game thanks to good defense and some LSU turnovers.
People assume these photo shoots are easy.
Just like they assume they can't afford great insurance. But State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
What? All in the core.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Wasn't me.
You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
I love a good deal. I love finding good deals like this because this Fritos Chili Cheese Junior Wrap is 99 cents.
I feel like they just marked it wrong, but I'm not telling.
Right.
Sonic Fritos Chili Cheese Junior Wrap.
This is the move right here. Boom. Boom.
My turn. My bag of chips or your crunch wrap?
I think we have different definitions of sharing.
Next time you can divvy it up.
Wow. So generous.
This place is going to be rocking. I just came back for the win. Number
Ready for war. I see the house and I'm up in the score. I just came back for the win. They say success is the best revenge.
Hi, yes, I need a locksmith. 3 hours. Guess I'll be right here.
Nice. People say cash back, right?
And it is saving the day right now.
Good afternoon.
It was.
The Wells Fargo Active Cash Visa Card. That's real life ready.
This holiday, make giving the inspiration for saving. From tossing out the holiday trash to cleaning up your festive feast, use Greenlight to turn savings goals into life goals. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
Cover it up. That's what I did when I started losing my hair. Then I realized I could actually do something. Now I use Keeps, the easiest way to keep my hair. And it only costs $1 a day, which means no more covering up. Get started at Keeps.com.
Dallin and Zubin in the studio. Catch too much for the Dogs in Lexington.
Yeah, David Mintz makes a 3 here, but Oscar Tshiebwe, he's an alien. 29 points, 17 rebounds, dominant inside, and they locked down defensively in the second half.
A couple of other SEC scores. Short-handed Mizzou with a huge upset win over Bama. A&M goes to 2-0 in conference play. Jabari Smith, Dallin, is up next.
Up next, and he may be the first draft pick overall in the spring, but he's got partners with him. Walker Kessler is an absolute beast in the interior as well. This is a must-see game. Can't wait.
Tom, Damien, back to you.
All right, Z, thanks. If Tshiebwe is an alien, I don't know what Ty Washington is. 17 assists tonight for Kentucky, the most ever by an SEC freshman in a conference game. What else jumps out at you nationally?
Well, Baylor, we wondered who the #1 pick was, or who the #1 team was. Baylor has proven that they are. Scott Drew, Kim Jones done a great job. Nice front line there. I love Matthew Meyer. 5 teams in the SEC top 25 net. I think that they are playing as good as any conference in the country. And then, of course, Jabari Smith Jr., who they talked about coming up next. I think he's playing as good as any freshman in the country as well.
A Tennessee turnover, 3-on-1 LSU.
Tari Eason, take it easy. He's got a family.
That's the kind of stuff, seriously, in pickup basketball, we just stop playing.
Leave.
You just leave.
Pick up your stuff and go home.
Everybody just runs on the floor. After you make a play like this, Conwell, oh my goodness.
That is over a 7-footer.
Hey, look how he just looks at him and shakes his head afterwards like, yep, I just got you. I just got you. Most underrated team in the country.
Maybe not for long. Here's Plavsic.
Right
nice
back
feed
at
from
you.
Chandler.
Right? Look at Plavsic. He said that counts 2 as well.
Yeah.
Now take that, Tari Eason.
Tari Eason transferred in from Cincinnati. He played at Garfield High School up in Seattle for Brandon Roy, the 3-time NBA All-Star. Here's Eason going to work. And Plavsic. Pardon me, that was Kama returning the. Oh my goodness. He was trying to mean mug him, and then Kama slipped on the floor. Oh, no good deed or ungood deed goes unpunished.
How many cameras do we got? I hope one of those cameras caught that.
Oh no.
Here we go. Now I love the. Oh, that's the dunk right there.
If you're going to talk trash, make sure your feet are underneath your body, and that's what Kama did not account for.
Hey, he's shook right now. That's okay. That's okay, young man. I like how he came back and got the block, though.
Wilkinson returns, and that'll put Fudge to the bench. Here it is.
Now, see, look at this. This is what you do. Don't put your head down. Comes back, gets the block.
And he slipped after our cameras moved on. He slipped on his own wet spot. So
He's trying to look at him, trying to talk stuff. Oh, that's funny.
LSU leads by 11. You know, with the emphatic plays that LSU has had, it feels like they're up 21. Here's the freshman with a shake, little jump hook.
See, he's got to take some gigantic strides, and he'll get there. Big guys always develop a little bit later. But right now for Tennessee, you're very much in this basketball game. A 2 or 3 here, and you put some game pressure back on these LSU Tigers. Well, they're not able to play as free.
Tennessee not a great shooting night, and the foul Pinson inside.
Yeah, that was interesting right there, because when I talked to Coach Barnes, he said Texas Tech tried to use switches and post up our smaller guys. He said, if they try to do that to us, we're going to actually do that to them. That was the first time I seen Plavsic. He did a nice job of posting up Xavier Pinson from LSU. So both coaches now going at mismatches.
And so Uroš Plavsic at the free throw line. Convenience store number 7 of 11 on the season for Plavsic, who started his career at Arizona State. The 6'7" in school history, the first since Steve Hammer played at Tennessee back in the early to mid-90s. Missed opportunity for Tennessee. Pinson working on Kamwa.
Yeah, they've got their mismatch.
After Plavsic got on him. Doors still open for Tennessee. 5:40 to play. Down 11. Tennessee team that came in shooting 33% from 3. At 25% tonight. Plavsic goes baseline. Right around Days.
Big fella. They found a weakness. Right now, there's no one that is stepping up to the plate to guard Plavsic.
All 12 for Plavsic have come in the second half. Eason. Not get a clean look, but he picks it up and puts it in.
Backbreaker. You're looking at a chance to potentially cut this lead to a 2-possession game.
And now the crowd back in it. Chandler gets a bump from Days. It's the 4th. Now the LSU star.
Well, and this is what I mean when I talk about LSU just gets out of control sometimes, but they're so long, so athletic. That's that control chaos that we're talking about. They just showed a review of that last foul, and LSU Tiger fans do not like it.
The clock stops with 4:40 to go, and Kennedy Chandler 75% of the season at the free throw line. He accounts for 32% of Tennessee's points with his scoring and with his assists, sitting on 17.
Well, before the Ole Miss game, Tennessee actually went into ball games only turning it over 15% of their possessions. That allows them to have a solid defense because they're not taking bad shots, not turning it over. They've done a much better job in this second half.
Taking it down to 9. LSU led this game by 20, less than 6 minutes into the second half. Murray, no. Oh, my. Vescovic got walked over by Tari Eason.
I'd get it back inside to Plavsic. He's been successful.
Chandler for 3, and he's fouled on the 3. It's his second on Eason. And Kennedy Chandler retreated 92 feet. He'll come back down and shoot the three free throws.
Need I repeat what I said earlier, Tom?
Yeah.
With LSU, they're never out of a game. And you're never out of the game. It's controlled chaos. And you just can't allow yourself to make body contact. The fans don't like it. But you jump to the side, jump to the left, jump to the right. You just don't want to foul a three-point shooter. Or jump shooter at all.
Kennedy Chandler has 3 free throws coming. He just had a veteran move. Speaking to KB Burdett, the umpire, He asked for the ball to be dried off. And Burnett said, we're drying up. They went so far as to walk halfway to the Tennessee bench to look for a towel, but didn't get it. 2 more coming.
I'm not a huge opera man, you know.
Okay.
But listening to these fans being back in this arena, it's kind of like the opera for me.
Yeah, I feel you. You're the Phantom. I was thinking more Adam Sandler on Saturday Night Live. That opera man, but okay.
Oh, man.
Broadway could use all the support we could find for it. Loose ball. Chandler steps through and steps right into the block from Eason. Blodgett. No, Eason another board. He'll key the break. 3-on-2. And Pinson went down awkwardly, and he grabs his right knee on this slick floor.
My goodness. That did not look good, and he is in excruciating pain.
Sean Eddy, the athletic trainer for LSU basketball, immediately out to check on Xavier Pinson. As soon as he planted to cut, the leg gave out. LSU leads by 8.
Hey, our reservation's at 7.
I am ready.
Great.
You look nice.
Thank you.
My 2 favorites.
Looks like you already chose your favorite.
Nice. 2 favorites.
I'm gonna take this now.
Enjoy any 2 classics for $6, like the Quarter Pounder with cheese and 10-piece McNuggets for a limited time at McDonald's.
When I break a long run, I'm talking long. That's why I use Old Spice Triple Protection Sweat Defense. Old Spice works harder for longer. Hey, Derek, man, you're gonna be much longer. This is gonna be a minute. Derek, quit playing. Derek.
Our journey at Continental has taken us down many roads. And when we first started, they weren't even paved. For more than 150 years, we've worked hard to earn your trust. From the trail to the racetrack and beyond. The Continental mark in all its forms stands for confidence. Confidence you trust. Continental Tire.
Sarah, you said you were buying a car today.
Dad, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, I stayed up and crunched all the numbers.
I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly.
Oh, online, honey, now that can affect your credit score.
It didn't, Dad. Then I got my real rate and monthly payment. Now I just need to head to the dealership for a test drive and purchase.
Sounds easy.
Yeah, it is.
Well, since we're both up, who wants French toast? What's in your wallet?
Domino's new oven-baked dips are so new that we made a new commercial about their newness. Try new flavors like our cheesy marinara, baked apple, or hot and melty 5-cheese with our not new but still delicious twists. Carry out Domino's new oven-baked dips and twist combos or any 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds. They're back.
Yes, I hear them.
Uh-oh. Why are these birds so angry?
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
I'm going.
Hurry!
I know.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Zubin Mehenti in our college basketball studios. For those of you looking for Florida Auburn, it's airing right now on ESPN News. Tom with more on the injury situation there in Baton Rouge. Back to you.
All right, Zubin, thank you. Xavier Pinson, the transfer from Missouri, with a Scary injury as he slipped trying to drive to the basket. He's an assist short of his career high. He's been a key for LSU. Take another look at as his front leg slipped and then the right leg folded underneath him.
Well, what I was excited about, Tom, was to see that he was able to put weight on both of those legs when he was walking out of the gymnasium. He had some help, but he was able to put weight on both, which is usually a good sign. We've got a net issue on the right side. You know, it wasn't an issue in the first half, but neither team could put the ball through the net, but it's been different here. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done. Who knew it could be this complicated? I mean, I have trouble putting on a belt. There's no way I'd be able to thread that thing. I mean, we could just go old school, take the net off completely, right? Can we get a chain? See, you know anything about that, Tom Hart? Those goals that didn't have any nets. That's right. You make the shot and you still have to go run after the basketball because it was all nets without the nets. And it just didn't feel good when you made a shot. No, not like the sound, right? But well, the best sound are chains. And these fans right here. That's the one thing I didn't talk about on my Fishes National headlines are these fans. Couple coffee, couple dollars change. Oh my goodness. In the world, right? The fans are so good here that we have backup cheerleaders in the building. Did you notice this? And maybe it's COVID related. You never really know if you're going to need a backup or not, but we noticed it pregame that there was another 8 cheerleaders, 4 male, 4 female, all taped up and in their uniforms. I guess if you don't get used in the first half, then you head home. Go ahead and head to walk-ons. They're fixing the net on one end. We'll try to fix ourselves back in 30 seconds.
At Hilton, check in, choose your room, and unlock your door, all in the Hilton app, thus preserving the rarest of species, the sleeping toddler. Book our family of brands at Hilton.com. To new memories, Hilton.
I've never quite seen an above the rim cam used like this, but it's paying for the rental. There's no doubt about it. You know, usually we're used to seeing ladders, officially sponsored ladders, by the way, underneath the rim for championships. What does this LSU team need to accomplish to be a championship type team? And if you want to go SEC or even national championship, that's up to you.
They're going to have more efficiency in the half-court offense than this guy that's trying to fix the net, first of all. I'm glad I'm not up there. Listen, this LSU team is just fine. They didn't get a lot of the credit because they didn't play what people consider a challenging schedule. And look at the fans getting behind this team. But they didn't play a particularly challenging schedule to get started. But they won all of their games. You saw Penn State today actually made it very tough on Purdue, who was coming off of a loss earlier this week. LSU's going to be just fine. I don't know why they're not rated higher, but they are in a conference, they're in the league to where it's certainly going to allow them room to climb up this top 25 ladder if they can win here today.
Speaking of the league, Buzz's team got a big win. Texas A&M won at home against Arkansas, despite the fact that Arkansas got 31 from J.D. Notte, and it was a 5-point win at home for A&M. Their schedule to this point has led to some questions, but they keep piling up wins. How good can A&M be?
Well, they knocked off Butler, knocked off Notre Dame. I saw Butler really gave Xavier some problems early last night. Coach Buzz Williams is like what we call a value stop, right? it may not be a Facebook or a Tesla like an Elon Musk, but you know what you're going to get. You give Buzz time, he's going to get you a solid dividend. He's going to win basketball games. You're going to get some appreciation, and that's exactly what he's doing down in College Station.
We need a new segment. Stock tips with Fish. All right, what's out there for real? Where should we be?
I'm just telling you.
We're going to send you to the Plains, Auburn and Florida underway. Auburn's got an early 6-5 lead on the Gators. We've got a big rivalry game for you on ABC and the ESPN app tomorrow afternoon. Jeremiah Davenport leads Wes Miller's Cincinnati Bearcats against Memphis, who still kind of find their groove, though they've been better lately. And they're trying to string some wins together. Coverage of the AAC matchup begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Memphis, some bodies short. They finished the Tulsa game last week with only 3 scholarship players on the floor. Jalen Duran was out. DeAndre Williams was out. Amani Bates is supposed to come back. Pinson back on the bench, and that is great to see for LSU.
LSU fans are back, too. They got their point guard, Pinson. He's having a heart-to-heart with Coach Will Wade.
Emotional moment between coach and player. Pinson showing up in Baton Rouge after starting his career at Missouri. The lead is 8. Vescovi has a hard time getting off shots in this one. Just 2 of 5 from 3. Shot clock at 5. Chandler to Vescovi. Ball fake, got him some space, and he drills it.
Tough. Let's remember that possession right after the stoppage in play. It's almost like Tennessee gets an extended timeout. They come back out. LSU plays outstanding defense, but it's just better offense by the Volunteers.
Eason trying to get around Kamwa. Here's Murray.
Stagnant.
Force 3. Launches with a clear out to pull it in. 4-on-4. Lopchich can move some bodies now, and he's got a mismatch with Murray trying to guard him.
Yeah, he's a strong, physical big. Doesn't have the footwork of a Drew Timme, but he's got physical toughness, length, and size on the inside.
5-point game. James struggling with his shot, gives it up. Here's Chandler. Floater blocked from behind. Eric Gaines able to recover. 1 second remains on the shot clock.
Well, this is that attacking defense that we were talking about. They are relentless. They never stop. And Eric Gaines uses that 6'2" length and size to continue to get another stop.
Where does Tennessee go with only 1 tick remaining?
You have a catch and shot. They've got size, but Plavsic doesn't have the athletic advantage to go at Eason.
Down by 5. The lob. They never get it off. LSU with the takeaway. Nice bounce. And a fantastic finish by Murray. Under 2 to play, leads back to 7. Plavsic doubled. Vescovi, another ball fake, but that one's short. Wilkinson out front to Murray. Here's Eason.
Controlled chaos.
Chandler nearly threw it away. They were leaning on Vescovi, and he's able to draw the foul.
Well, this is the control chaos that we're talking about. What it does is it allows LSU to play to their strengths. You're not going to find a more athletic team. Now, they ran into a team that's potentially more athletic in Auburn, but they didn't have their starting 2 guard in Brandon Murray. I'd love to see that matchup again because Auburn didn't have Devin Cambridge either. But their length, their size, their athleticism will allow them to be in any basketball game against any opponent all season long.
That was the 5th personal on Days. And with 1 minute to go, Vescovi at the free throw line. He was moneyed late in games. In his Tennessee career, the last 4 minutes or overtime, 42 of 44. He's got 2 coming. That doesn't happen very often.
Volunteer faithful, I didn't say a word. If you want to reach him at, what's your Twitter, Tom?
At Damien_Fishback. Trust me, they know where to find me. They have before, and they will again.
Tom Hart said he ain't scared either.
So Vescovi makes 1 of 2, and Tennessee will set up some pressure.
Well, so if you're Tennessee here,
Tennessee almost had 6 on the floor. They had a hard time getting Plavsic out.
Well, right
go
now,
smaller lineup now.
Yeah, they got to go smaller lineup, and you got to start fouling if you don't get something 10-second in the backcourt or still early. You got to extend this basketball game. You're still too close.
Murray thought he had used his dribble, and a foul from Chandler. It's a 4th on Tennessee's point guard. Pardon me, that was on James, not Chandler.
You think about Eric Gaines and how he's continued to thrive this year. In his 2nd year, he got a career high with 10 points over Liberty, a team that I think will be in the NCAA tournament again. And as Pinson had to step out of this basketball game because of injury, there was no drop-off. Eric Gaines was prepared, he was poised, and they bring 2 different elements. Pinson's got a little bit more experience, a little bit more comfortable with his outside shot. Gaines brings a lot more defensively.
Knocks them both down and takes a lead to double digits again. Vescovi. Tomo says, I'll shoot it. LSU says, we'll take it. What a handle by Gaines. Fudge wanted the lob, but wouldn't throw it to Eason. So we can talk about LSU, but I'm fascinated by what this Tennessee team is, Fish, because they were anemic offensively against Ole Miss. They're back to full strength now. What's the limit on Rick Barnes' team? And I guess more directly, what's their identity?
Well, they're a team that has to get back to making sure that they don't turn over the basketball. They came in averaging 12. They had 3 more than that. They've got 15. They're also a team that has to figure out how they want to play. I know Coach Barnes is comfortable with them shooting the 3-point shot. I think they have to nail down which 3-point shots they want to take, and I think those have to be inside out, whether it's off of penetration, off of Chandler, or inside touches. But more than anything, this is all about LSU, and these Tigers are going to be tough to beat here in Baton Rouge.
James gives it up, and Bailey has it run out. Tigers have sought this one away. Tennessee will not bother to foul, and LSU will go to 14-1 on the season. The lone loss came against a team that's coming up next. And it'll be a 79-67 final. They won't count that last one for Gaines. Came after the buzzer. Inconsequential. It's a 13-game win streak for LSU here at home. Undefeated this season. 79-67 our final. Let's get you to a raucous Auburn arena. Eric Freed and Jimmy Dykes for Auburn in Florida.